Please ignore the background. It's a bit of a mess because I'm doing some rearranging of stuff because I have a bunch of stuff coming in for my channel. So yeah, I've got some Nerf guns, trash in the back. Ignore it, please. So I didn't know how to do a video on this, so I ended up basically coming across as, oh, I'm neglecting it. And I feel terrible about this because I've really wanted to talk about this whole thing for quite a long time. I tried making a video on it last year. I didn't. I don't think. Also, if you see the reflection, you might be able to see the light changing a bit. That's my alcohol I'm going to be drinking and sipping a bit. Black raspberry cordial. Still my favorite thing to drink. Occasionally. Not a big thing, but anyways. I'm a grown adult. I can drink now. I'm actually 22 now. Yeah! Shut up, Xbox. So, I wanted to talk about Pride Month. I'm sorry. I know the month's almost over. I've got maybe 8 days. No, not even 8 days. It's the 23rd now. Wait. 20... I don't actually know if it's midnight yet. It might be the 24th. Don't know. It might also be the 20th for all I know. I have lost track of time and space and brain hurt. Okay. So I haven't done anything about this. I'm sorry. I've tweeted about it a couple times, but I've never made a video on it. And I'm sorry. I didn't know how. I talk about my sexuality too much on my channel. I know this is the month where I should be doing it, and not, other times, but it's kind of part of who I am, and I didn't want to do that again, so I'm just trying to figure out how to do a video on this. So instead of talking about my sexuality, I wanted to talk about Pride Month, and kind of my experience with this month and all that. Now, before I get into that, I do have to go into my sexuality to explain a few things of why this month is important to me. I am not bisexual, despite me identifying as that. I am pansexual. Now, this is slightly different than bisexual, but it's really just a further version of it. Bisexual means that I'm into females and males. Pansexual means that I'm into, well, everyone. So, that's basically the only difference. Of course, it's kind of also the same, I could say the same thing as it being the only difference between me being straight and pansexual is that I'm into everyone. So either way, it works. But, yeah, so I'm into everyone. Honestly, I don't even care what you look like. If you have a good personality, that's all I care about. That's the only thing that really I care about in relationships. So yeah. That's the only difference. Now, the reason why I identify as bisexual is because of the fact that I have too many friends, even my dad is this idiot, who want to say the joke of, oh, you're attracted to kitchenware? Okay, guys, we get it. The meme gets old, and it's a dead meme. Please stop. Although I will tell one quick story. I tweeted out about this because I thought it was hilarious. You know those, hot singles in your area kind of ads that are obviously fake, but very abundant on the internet? Well, I saw one of those on an anime website, and, my brain immediately read it as hot skillets in your area. And I'm just like, are there new restaurants or something? Why is there a picture of a woman on it? Oh. Hot singles. Okay, that makes more sense. You'd think after seeing so many of those, I would have understood that it was, oh, one of these. But no, I was like, must be a new restaurant or something. Nope. So I took pansexual to a literal format on that one. I still think that's a funny story. I'm sorry, I have to tell it every time I talk about why I identify as bisexual, because it is kind of funny. Anyways, so, what is Pride Month? It is not actually a month for Pride, specifically. It's not that simple. For anyone who's not aware, Pride Month takes place due to several riots that took place. I don't remember the name of the riots, I'm sorry. I'm not exactly as well versed on this as I should be. Because in all honesty, I've only really been part of Pride Month for 2 years now. Last year was the first month I actually did anything for Pride Month, or even knew about it, because there was a parade that went right down my street. So, of course I'm going to be aware of it and actually take part in, attending the parade and everything. I didn't attend the parade because I was asleep all day. Like, I was lazy, okay? I was tired. So, what exactly happened during these riots? Well, or what did they result in, I should say? Well, they resulted in people who are gay, transgender, lesbian, queer, all of the above, like, the whole LGBTQ plus community. Like, we all have rights now. Until then, we didn't have rights. So, until these riots took place, there was no respect for us. Now, as someone who had no clue about any of this until literally a month ago, yeah, I was pretty interested about that as well. Hence why I'm telling all of you, because it is very fascinating. However, it has evolved into Pride Month, which is not just about people having pride, because you really should have pride on who you are all the time. And if you don't, then I know too many people who don't. It is kind of upsetting to me when people are like, "Oh well, I shouldn't feel pride in myself." You should, okay? I know it's coming from me, a random guy on the internet. It's probably not going to mean much, but if you can't respect yourself and have pride in who you are, then that kind of vibe comes off against everyone else. Now, it's hard to explain on this one. I'm not going to go too far into it because this isn't what the video is about, but it is important to state because I will hate myself if I don't. I have to talk about this every time I bring this kind of stuff up. Love yourself. Because negative vibes about yourself are what create negative vibes towards you from others. Kind of like how if you're going along on the sidewalk and you're all peppy and happy, anyone who walks by you will probably get a bit of that peppy or happy vibe added to their own. It's contagious, basically. Emotions are very contagious. So if you are very self-deprecating and, gloomy and, like that, people will have the same kind of views. And this is the thing, is as someone who puts on a mask all the time, someone who hides his true emotions, I understand that. I understand how hard it is to actually give a crap about yourself. But putting on a mask doesn't really solve that issue. Doesn't fix you respecting yourself. It doesn't, change the vibe that people get about you. It really doesn't. Like, people can see right past it a lot of the time. For me, I'm very good at hiding my emotions because I have so many emotions that it's like, my brain is just chaos, okay? So it's hard to interpret anything that I'm like because my brain is so just unpredictable. So my actions are as well, but I'm not going to go into that either. Long story short, love yourself. If you can't, please try and find someone who can understand you. And if anyone needs to ever reach out to me, my email is always open, my Twitter is always open, my Facebook is always open, but no one ever really uses Facebook anymore, so yeah. If you have Facebook, I guess, maybe, look me up. I don't know. I don't use it much. If you have to contact me, use Twitter, at KITROL1866, or you can message my email, which is, or email my email, I should say, which is doublej1866@gmail.com, or a bit of anim, or abitofanimej@gmail.com. God, those are my two emails. Okay, either one works. If you email me, I'll hear you out. I'll talk to you. I'll be there for you. Anyways, back to Pride Month. Okay, I didn't want to go too far on a tangent because that is something that really does mean to me, and I have to explain it. So now that we're back on topic, Pride Month is something that I've actually really been very enthusiastic about for the past 2 years. Even this year, like, there was no parade because of the whole pandemic, which was very understandable. But where's my mask? Mother, where did you put the mask? Oh, the mask, the mask. So this is the best thing I could get to do with the pandemic and Pride Month at the same time. It is a rainbow mask that my mom actually got me. And I know she doesn't know why I like rainbow. But of course it's because of Pride. Now it's tie-dye, so it's not as close as you can get. But, it's the best my mom could afford right now. So, speaking of that though, the pandemic has been a toll on everyone. I understand that. Like, my generation, surprisingly, my generation did fuck it up more. Because, if anyone is not aware, this little substance right here tends to fuck people up. And people who are, like, newly 21, like I was, which I honestly don't drink much. I can't handle a lot of alcohol. I can get drunk off 2 beers, and that's all it'll take for me. Plus, it's not really healthy for me, because I have medication that it really doesn't work well with. But my generation is known for being, you know, the I don't care what you say, I'm gonna go party generation. So, I'm surprised that my generation didn't fuck it up more. However, if this little demon right here is being sold still in bars, I'm pretty sure we'd still have more people going out and, you know, drinking and causing more of this spreading of the pandemic without even being aware of it. Or without even caring, I should say. And it's sad because I am part of this generation and I feel like we should take more responsibility, which I'm glad so many people did. So many people took a huge amount of responsibility and are like, yeah, I'm going to wear a mask no matter where I go. It doesn't matter if I'm at public or just out at a friend's house. It doesn't matter. I have to wear a mask all the time. Unless I'm home alone. And that was something I was like, damn, I don't even wear a mask all the time. But when I go out jogging, I don't wear a mask. Because I can't breathe when I jog when I wear a mask. So, can you blame me? But like, even I had things that I didn't do that my generation was doing really well. So, props to you. I'm technically a millennial, but no, actually, I might just barely be a Gen Z. Maybe not. Maybe I am. Maybe not. I don't actually know. I was born June 7th, 1998. So if anyone knows what that is, let me know. I have no clue what generation I'm on. I'm right on the edge, if I'm not mistaken. So let me know. I think I'm a millennial. Maybe I'm a Gen Z. I don't know. Although now we have the Alpha generation. That's apparently the newest generation, which is very little kids. I'm like, I want to be an alpha, but we all know that I exhibit major beta energy. Oh god. Okay, anyways, enough about that. I'm a fucking masochist, okay? Deal with it. Okay, now it's enough of that. So Pride Month is something that I really haven't been able to celebrate, and most people haven't. The parade was canceled, but there's a building in my area that I always jog past. It doesn't matter where I'm going, I have to go past it. Then I have to change the route if I need to. Because anytime I go out, I want to see that building. It is so important to me. I'll put up pictures. Right here. This building is so amazing. It is, I don't actually know what it is. I've never actually been inside of it. I know that they have a DJ there, or they used to, I should say, at night. Because I used to jog around 10 p.m. to midnight. And they always had music blaring, lights a-glowing. It was a huge thing. There was always a party there of some sort. And they actually have, as you guys can see, they have a lot of rainbow because they are very supportive of Pride and LGBTQ communities of any sort. And they also just literally recently added the piano walkway, which you guys can see. It's not really a piano, but it's really cool art. And this whole area is very well known for their art and their statues and just everything is really artistic, which is really cool. I live not too far from the art museum, so I love art, okay? I always have, always will. A lot of it can be kind of boring to me, but it's still really fascinating, and I love it. But the energy that one building gives off is just amazing. It's the, I don't give a fuck what the world thinks. I'm gonna be happy kind of energy. And that's something that I've always wanted, and that's why every time I go past that building I feel so much better about myself. Because I just see those colors, the rainbow colors everywhere, and I love it. Not to mention those gender signs, which are really cool. And I don't actually know, I'm going to admit right now, I don't know a lot about what those signs mean. I know that one is, what are the signs? I don't remember what the statues are that they have. Like what they actually look like. They have like I believe there's gay and bisexual, I think are the two. Is there a third one? It might be a lesbian. I don't actually know. I haven't been past there in like a week now, so exactly remember. But I mostly pay attention to the rainbow because, you know, that's the Pride colors. And I feel like that's a major thing about Pride in general, is just like, it's Pride. It's bright colors. It's something that stands out. And even if it's not Pride Month, I'm going to be proud of who I am, or at least proud of this side of me, because, you know, it's not something I should be ashamed of. Why should I be? Now, it might not be something that I should be, like, overly prideful of, because too much pride is always a bad thing. But I believe that it is part of who I am, and part of who I am is, that part is just amazing. My girlfriend is also, she is bisexual. She's not pansexual, she's just bisexual. But she is very, very, very supportive of the LGBTQ community, to the point where she will stand up to anyone who tries to strike it down with, like, religion or something. Because in all honesty, religion has nothing to do with how you feel. It really doesn't. It has something to do with how you act. I understand that. But emotions are not something that your religion can tell you how to feel. I always tell people, I was born in a very strict Christian family. Like, no religion could ever be brought into the household unless it was Christianity. I wasn't allowed to celebrate Halloween, which wasn't that uncommon, but what was extremely uncommon was I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob SquarePants. I kid you not, I wasn't allowed to watch it because of Squidward. Because he was rude. He was a meanie, as my mom would call it when I was younger. And I'm just like, but it's a kid's show. My mom goes, yeah, but he's not portraying the Christian lifestyle. You guys can see that that's a big thing with my family. Yet I was allowed to watch Naruto. Actually, no, I wasn't. But if I was caught watching it, I wouldn't be put into a, punishment chair like I always was. I'm one of the only people out of anyone I know who has actually had their mouth washed out with soap for swearing. Hence why, until I turned 18 and moved out of, like, every single place, I didn't start swearing. I didn't start swearing until then. Until I was a grown adult. Because my parents could not stop the fucking that I was gonna give. Or, I guess I should say the lack of fucks. So, being an adult, I've started to realize that I'm not who my parents raised me to be. I'm not religious. I was born in a... I don't actually know when I was born because I was abandoned. That's all I know about my birth. But I was raised in a Christian family that was so strict that I wasn't allowed to watch a child's cartoon. Actually, there were lots of cartoons I couldn't watch as a kid. Now, there were benefits to it, but when it came to my sexuality, I had a gay phase, and my parents never knew about that. They still don't know about that phase, because I never told them, and I never will. Because that was the phase where I had held so much information from them, and my mom is not supportive of it. She is not in the slightest. But I don't let that stop me. My mom, anyone who's met her will know that she is very protective of me, to the point where she will stop me from doing anything that will negatively impact myself. Sometimes even by force, which is pretty bad. If you're a parent, you should not intervene in your child's life once they're no longer a child. Once they're an adult, it's their responsibility to live their own life. Now, I'm not a parent, but I'm fucking better than my parents were. Which is a good thing, for the record. That's what the parents are supposed to teach on. They're supposed to pass those kind of things on. I know what to do and what not to do all this. Now, I understand that the results that I'm expecting are very different from what my parents were expecting. I'm expecting my kid to be rebellious, but that's kind of part of being a kid. Now, when they start to rebel, make sure that they're staying in line, make sure that they're safe. I'm not going to go into all this, okay? That's not part of the video. Okay, what the part of the video is when it came to me growing up, figuring out that, okay, I'm allowed to identify as whatever the fuck I want. I did. And my parents, when I told them, they were like, oh, okay. My mom didn't talk to me for 6 hours that day. But before I went home, before my dad took me home, because he had to drive me back home, before he did, my mom pulled me over to the side. Well, she called me over to the side, I should say. And she goes, so, I don't support the decision, but I will support you. And that made me happy, till I realized what supporting me meant. It ended up with her trying to bring religion into everything and basically change me. Because supporting me, in her mind, is making sure I don't go to hell for it. I don't believe in hell. I kind of have these, like, parts of me that my childhood self, of course, believed in it because I was raised that way. I'm not going to get into religion in this video, but using scare tactics is not the way to go. Because then you're forcing someone to believe in something that they obviously don't actually believe in. They're just doing it to not get put in danger, which is a human trait of, oh, protect what I have. That's really it. So scare tactics are not the way to go. And that's why Mom is using, whoa, my camera's vibrating, what the hell? It's not the way to go. And that's kind of what I feel like my mom was doing. She's pressuring me into it. And I don't support that. And I support her. I don't support her decisions. And I actually support her. I know she's doing what she thinks is right. But she can't change how I feel. She can change, you know, if I ever have a gay relationship, she can intervene in that. But I won't appreciate it, and I won't allow it. I've actually told Jess, because of this, I've told her, if my mom ever tries to intervene with us, I'm going to immediately disassociate with her, and I'm going to be with you more. Because it's not her right to do. And that's for any of you out there. If you are an adult, it is your right to choose who you are with. I know gay marriage is not legal in every state. I don't actually know if it's even illegal in America. Or, I mean, my part of America, New York. That's what I was trying to say. America. Obviously, it's legal in some states. Okay, I don't know if it's legal in New York. But if it is, cool. I'm not surprised, because New York has a lot of people in it who are gay and lesbian. And in all honesty, I'm just not surprised, okay? But there are a lot of states that just don't allow it. A lot of southern states especially. They're very, just hateful against it. If your parents don't support you, and even if they do what my parents did, where they're like, we'll support you, and then they try and pressure you anyways, my dad kind of just doesn't care. For all honesty, my dad is just like, okay, whatever. You're an adult, you have to deal with the consequences. He's a farmer. He's a man of few words. Father's Day happened, and we shared the most words we've ever had in, 1 minute. I have never talked to him more, and it was all fit into 1 little minute. And that was amazing for me. I have never really been able to connect with my dad for that amount of time. Or for that, I guess that much of a conversation. Especially not in such a short time. It's always like, okay, or, yeah, that sounds cool. It's not very expressive. But my dad, when it comes to this stuff, he just doesn't care. It's my responsibility to choose where I go with this. He knows that. My mom, however, she's a bit more pushy about it. So if any of you have a parent like that, or a parent who just outright says, no, you can't have that, it's not their choice. Okay? And honestly, it's not even your choice. You feel how you feel. The heart wants what the heart wants. The heart gets what the heart gets. If it doesn't get it, then it feels sad. But that's a different subject. I'm not gonna talk about my rejections, despite me having dozens of them. Yeah, I was a whore in school. I was a man whore. Okay, so my point is, if you have anyone out there who just doesn't support you, then they don't get to have you. They don't get to have those ties with you, because that is toxic. Any relationship cannot be formed through toxicity and hate or disrespect. Doesn't matter if it's a, couple relationship, dating, marriage, doesn't matter. Or if it's a family relationship or friendship relationship. Those are all types of relationships. And my counselor, for the record, I had a therapist for the longest time. I actually still have a therapist, but it's a different therapist, obviously. She doesn't actually, I don't go to appointments for her. She comes to me, actually, which is really cool. But I had a therapist back in the day. And when I said back in the day, I was 17, so 5 years ago. Which, God, that was 5 years ago. Oh God, I'm getting old. Wait till I hit 30. Oh, it'll be here soon. Oh, yikes. So, I actually told her about me being gay, because this was when I was at the end of my gay phase. Well, it was right after my gay phase, actually. I told her that I was gay. And she's like, okay. And I know your parents don't support that. And I'm like, yeah. That's why I haven't told them. She goes, okay, that's understandable. And I won't either. I'm like, okay, good. I mean, you can't tell them because you have a confidentiality thing with me, so you can't tell my parents about what I tell you. Unless it's a legal thing, but it's not a legal thing, because me having a boyfriend is not, hopefully it doesn't have anything to do with the law. Is my boyfriend a criminal? Oh no. I'm kidding. But even she was more supportive than my parents, which is a bad sign. So I ended up having to cut ties with my parents for about a month, and that was hard for me. Cutting ties is always extremely difficult for anyone. You know someone for, especially parents, your whole life, and suddenly you have to push them away because they won't accept you. And honestly, as someone who has had friends, and I'll tell the story. I'll tell the story really quick before I end the video. My phone's about to die anyways. In high school, I had a very close friend who I actually had a huge crush on. Her name was Elissa. And I have permission to tell this story because she was a close friend of mine, and I asked if I could ever tell this story, and she said, yeah, go ahead. At the junior prom, junior prom, my friend Luke also had a crush on her. And Luke and I were kind of rivals when it came to her. And neither of us were really having time spent with her during this whole thing. And I told her, hey, Luke kind of wants to spend a bit of time with you. And she immediately broke down, went to the bathroom crying, and I had no clue what I did wrong. I had absolutely no clue. And her and I were really good friends, like, extremely close. We told about, like, half our secrets, too. We didn't tell all our secrets, obviously, because we didn't, we weren't dating, which, even then, you didn't tell all your secrets, too. There's some things you don't tell anyone. Like what you fap to. No, I'm kidding. I'm pretty vanilla when it comes to that. Well, except for BDSM. That's one that I have to erase from my history every now and then. Okay, when it comes to, friendships, this was the hardest one for me to cut ties with, because her and I were so damn close, and she just ignored me for, like, the rest of the, high school, which was it was a year and a half, because the junior prom, god damn it, senior ball, junior prom, that's how it went. Junior prom was, like, almost at the end of the school year, but still, like, a few months left, and it was after that she just ignored me. I would try and talk to her, and she would just push me away. She would be like, no, I'm not ignoring you. And she'd even have her other friends, who now hate her, or I guess they kind of just refuse to talk to her, kind of literally act as walls, so that I couldn't get near her. And they'd be like, nope, not gonna pass us. And I'm like, I could easily push past you if I wanted to. I could rip your arms off for all you know. I was not an aggressive guy, but when it came to her, I was very upset, because I didn't want to have to cut ties with her. I didn't want to lose her. She was an extremely close friend, and even at graduation, she didn't talk to me. It was very rough. It really was. And even at BOCE's graduation, EMCC, that was the only time she actually spoke to me, because I actually I got to read an essay that I wrote at the graduation ceremony. I was one of the 2 students who was given the opportunity to write, give their, what is it called? To say their essay out loud, basically, at the microphone and, up on stage. It was terrifying for me. I was scared. But she was like, good job, JJ. She just walked away. That was the only thing I have heard from her since. And then about a year after graduation, she contacted me on Facebook. And I still had no clue what I did wrong. I had no absolute clue. I had no idea, and I tried asking her so many times, and her friends would just be like, you know what you did wrong. I'm like, no, I don't. I have no clue. And I was so upset at her that I was like, I can't be friends with you. Not after all that. And she's like, well, I'm trying to reconnect ties, but I understand. And her and I are friends again, but only because she has changed. It's not just me saying that she's changed because, she says she has. No, she's actually changed, which is really good. But I still have to keep a close eye on her, because if anything happens again, I have to be the one to cut those ties. I can't keep having her crawl back. It's just toxic. My ex is actually a stalker. For anyone who's not aware, I have a stalker ex who I actually have a restraining order against, because she was so obsessed with me that she actually threatened on my girlfriend's life. Just recently, she threatened to burn down my parents' house. And it's after the restraining order, for the record, she sent mail to my sister saying that she would burn down my house, but my sister wasn't allowed to open. She was just like, "Oh, I got mail for you for some reason." So my sister sent me over the mail, sent it right back to me, and I'm like, "Huh." I open it up. Oh, this is a fucking death threat on my whole family. Now, how she got my sister's address when she's 2.5 miles away from me? Hell if I know. No, sorry, 2.5 hours, not miles. 2.5 hours away from me. Hell if I know. But I had to cut that tie with her a long time ago because she was so toxic, so obsessed, that it was just dangerous for both her and me. And in all honesty, hate is not a good way to have a relationship. And I really did care about her. This GF was one of my favorites. But I couldn't handle her because she was so obsessive. But her and I were really good friends in high school, and so cutting ties with her was near impossible for me. Now, I'm going to end this video here just saying that any relationship where someone is not able to give you your space, respect what you do, and understand that they are not in control of you, that's when you have to cut ties. And it's hard. I understand it's extremely difficult, but you have to, for both your safety. Your safety and theirs, because hate is not a good thing for them to dish out any more than you to take. Anyways, I'm going to end the video right here. It's been 30 minutes. Happy Pride Month. I know it's almost over. I'm sorry, but that's all.